What's a red flag you wish more people looked out for? Who their friends are. Who a person chooses to spend their time with says a lot about that individual. His friends are pretty crappy but he is really nice. No, he's not. He is with those people because he wants to be. They are friends because they share commonalities. You can bet that he acts just like those crappy friends when you aren't around. Financial instability. Everyone is scared of being a gold digger, but wanting to be with someone who is independent and has their own money isn't a bad thing. Don't catch yourself providing everything for a person who isn't giving you anything. Unless of course you want that. But if you don't be scared to say you want someone who has their life together. The ride or die and struggle. Love mentality is hurting everyone. You aren't a bad person for leaving someone or not wanting to be with someone because they're in a stage of their life that you have moved on from and you want to keep growing. Toxic low self-esteem. It leads to guilt tripping and victim mentality, and they strongly believe they can do nothing in their life to change things. All just happens to them no matter what, and they are always the misunderstood victim. It's not quirky or funny. I'm a terrible person. I know I do everything wrong, should just end myself. I'm sorry I did insert something toxic. I'm depressed. I can't help, girl. Run. How they treat animals. And how animals react to them. My dog peed on my ex when he first met him. I now trust my dog unconditionally. How they treat their family members. Love bombing what they say when you meet them. If they automatically talk S about anyone, guaranteed they'll be talking S about you. What's love bombing? Love bombing is when someone directs an overwhelming amount of affection and attention and compliments at you in the beginning of a relationship in order to gain your trust and affection. There are a couple different reasons for it, depending on the person, but it's not healthy and never ends well. It's a manipulation tactic in order to control how you view and feel about them. Immaturity. When a man says he's not ready, believe him. He's not making excuses. Loving him more won't change his mind. Trying to fix his problem won't work either. I read this somewhere that when you force a relationship with this kind of person, it tends to fail because he didn't choose to change to make himself better. He just wants to please you, so the change is just a facade to get you. But once you're his, that mask will fall off, and you're already hooked trying to fix the relationship that is not meant to happen in the first place. Trying to move the speed of the relationship too fast. I noticed that anyone who isn't taking their time to properly get to know the other person is trying to lock in the relationship before you find out about the real situation. Constantly choosing to misinterpret what people are saying. It's just self-projection and low self-esteem. Men that don't take initiative. It gets very frustrating after the honeymoon phase. I hate cats. Instant red flag to me. My cats will all be accepted or you won't accept me. How they treat people. Always pay attention to how they treat customer service people especially. I know some men know to treat customer service people better due to judgment. Watch out for how they treat everyone, friends, family, how they talk about their ex-etc. People who are dating who really just have nothing in common. No shared hobbies or interests at all, just physical attraction. I've seen it spin out into nasty breakups and toxic stuff with long-lasting effects. The way they apologize. If they say sorry I did X, they're genuine. If they apologize like I'm sorry I'm such a piece of S, they're either intentionally or unintentionally manipulating you. This is a common thing I've been seeing, like trending is when the op is a woman, and her husband keeps giving her S gifts every year while she works hard to come up with his. Newsflash, breakup already. Good God. Like if you aren't going through financial hardships or have specific circumstances preventing you, then your man is a POS. And even when we were broke, my man still made the effort to ask me what I wanted and do his best to give me that. He don't give a F about you, girl, and the sooner you realize that it doesn't have anything to do with shitty present decisions and that no, he really don't care, the sooner you can gift yourself some divorce papers. This is specifically towards the topic of people who celebrate the holiday, but effort is everything. Enough with the poor me posts. P.S. So, the red flag in my opinion in general is lack of effort. People who twist your words, manipulate you, and put you down to build themselves up. I could list a million from one of my relationships, but the biggest were love bombing, lack of friends, It wasn't even so much that he didn't have any friends, but the people he considered friends brushed him off a lot. Took me a minute to see how negative he was, and then I understood. Weird family relationships. My ex had a strange relationship with his mom. Dude is a grown adult and his mom has moved in with him to help him. This was after we broke up. My therapist called them Bates Motel Imau. Rude to wait staff. Moves around a lot. Can't hold down jobs long term. Lack of interests and hobbies. Someone who starts to steal the things that you like, basically being your copycat. Not the cute way where you take interest in things to learn about someone, but basically mirroring that person instead. Lack of female friends. I found that the guys I've dated who don't have female friends seem to be pretty disrespectful towards women and their opinions. Guys who don't show any kind of initiative. My sister keeps dating guys like this, and they're not bad people. They're nice. They just don't go anywhere, and the relationship fizzles out when my sister gets sick of doing all the heavy lifting, making plans, helping them to find a job/place to live, planning holidays, making all the effort to keep in touch, etc. You don't want to go out with a guy who relies on you for every little thing. The way they treat their own mother. If they disrespect and mistreat her, how the hell are they going to treat you? What if he has a bad history with his mom? My current boyfriend says that when he was sick, his mother told their relatives, it's cheaper to buy a casket than bring that boy to the doctor/hospital to recover. Since then, he hated his mother. His uncle took care of him. He grew up with his uncle. I'm obviously talking about if the mom is a good mother to her children. I don't mean abusive nor neglectful mothers. Too close to their family. Edit, I'm not talking I talk to my mom/dad/sibling daily, more always picking family over so and letting family insult, berate, abuse, exclude, and gaslight so, and refuse to set up any boundaries. Can I ask why this is a red flag? I am super close with my sisters and consider them my best friends, and I honestly don't see a problem with it. Would you choose them over your spouse? Let them insult and berate your spouse? Refuse to set boundaries. Republican. F-ing abuse, man. Every single day there are posts on Reddit from women, occasionally from men too, saying my boyfriend says I'm ugly, my boyfriend choked me but said he's sorry, my boyfriend screamed at me and called me names, my boyfriend threw me against a wall. They almost always say, 80% of the time he's sweet. Get the F away from those a-holes. If they somehow reached adulthood not knowing. You don't ever treat someone like that, leave his ass. Maybe he'll realize it's not acceptable and get therapy. If he frequently brings up the fact that he's appalled or disgusted by women who throw themselves at him and or isn't a fan of women who wear provocative clothing, do yourself a favor and check his social media. You will find that he low-key follows porn, supermodels, and is more likely than not spending some good time on OnlyFans. These type of men are so freaking easy to spot because they constantly stress on not being something that they totally are. That they're developmentally appropriate. Older men dating younger women, something's wrong with the older man that he can't get a woman his own age. Sports cars, partying, trying to relive former glory and or escape a shitty, empty life. After 20 seconds, not having a well-furnished apartment, like they don't take pride in their own nest. Not being a well-developed person with complexity, their own thoughts and beliefs, their own likes and dislikes that they've thought about and tested out. And as an older woman and widow, I'm on the lookout while dipping my toe back into dating for men who have to have everything their way, who have no concept of mutuality and reciprocity. All relationships have to be give and take. Shalding on you? The nice guy. Not to say that all guys who appear nice are actually bad people, but nice and kind aren't the same thing. I have a judgmental/blunt/rude streak that I have worked on a lot over the last few years. I'm still working on it even now. Booty have learned a lot of valuable lessons about word choice and the value of a good apology along the way. I think I let a lot of people tell me I was the mean/bitch friend until I believed it about myself. So I went for a lot of nice guys who might have a good amount of friends and not a lot of people who would speak ill of them, but they aren't kind in the way of showing empathy or admitting their faults or communicating effectively as a partner. Then of course there is the toxic nice guy, who wants to be your friend until you tell him you definitely aren't interested in anything more, and then he pouts or says horrible things to you. So yeah, The nice guy. Controlling behavior. You are an adult. No one else should be dictating for you what you can wear, where you can go, who you can see or talk to, how you spend money, where you go online, your reproductive or other medical decisions. Inability to stand up to their family. If mommy and daddy still run their life and they never say no to them, you gotta run. Someone who doesn't stand up for themselves will never stand up for you. Only spending time alone with them. When you start a new relationship, make sure to spend time with them around both sets of friends and family. When you spend all your time with your partner alone, it leaves you vulnerable to manipulation. Also, your friends and family will let you know if they think the relationship doesn't seem right. Love bombing. Criticize every single person and / or thing except himself and the people / things he fancies at the moment. A subtle one for me is giving too much or being too romantic at the get-go. Like, you don't know me, guy. Wait a minute before deciding to go all in like that. If they ever be honest with you and admit cheating on a past partner but have regrets about their behavior and would never do to again. Perhaps I'm jaded, turns out he's a serial cheater, but bull. Once a cheater, always willing to do it again. Going on and on about themselves and not interested in knowing anything about you. This is kind of a jumble and hopefully it's relevant, but my dad told me when I was 16, dating a 20-year-old, wish I knew better too, that when someone makes you feel like just screaming or exploding, that's love because nobody else makes you feel that strongly. First off, effing insane take. Holy cow. Second, I'm not sure if anyone has heard similar advice, but if you're young like I was, or wherever you are in life, don't listen to that. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been stuck moving in with the worst relationship when they all moved to Florida. It led to so much confusion and frustration on my end when I didn't feel loved, when he would yell in my face or block me from leaving the bathroom / apartment. 3 years later and I'm still unlearning a lot and trying to work through things he did to me that I've pushed out of my mind, and trying to forgive myself for missing all of the red flags, which is counterproductive. It isn't your fault if you missed them. It isn't your fault if you were manipulated. That's just an example of some of the mental push UPS I'm left with years later. LOL. Long story short, when your feelings are constantly dismissed or laughed off, or get spun around and you're suddenly feeling terrible for how you reacted to them hurting you, yay, red flag. Find some support and get out of that poopy